Butts. Big butts. The biggest of butts. Booties. Badonkuses. I like big butts and I shall not tell a lie. George Washington Carver. 1739. And on that note, I'm going to clock in for work. Have a good time, I guess. Shift starting at 10:30 a.m. looking ass. Alrighty then. Greetings and salutations, everybody. My name is Michael Schwan, and welcome to the stream. Today is Sunday, June 19th, 2022. If you are one, happy Father's Day. If you wish to be one, I hope you celebrate this day someday for yourself. And if you have a good relationship with your father, I hope that you give them a call and that it is everything that you hoped for. And if you are not close to your father, understand that you are still appreciated and valid, and keep doing your best, because the world sucks and you are just doing what you can. But we are here, and this isn't on shuffle. It is on shuffle. Wow, it just managed to shuffle itself to the second song. I'm fucking amazed. Anyway, that all aside, we're here Sunday morning. We have finally starting to get back onto the tracks of rolling the train forward after I was gone for 2 weeks on vacation. It was a good vacation. I got to see friends from far, far away. We had an incredible time. We did incredible things, and we are here now. I'm just a little bit out of frame, aren't I? Camera. It's like, what? I'm going to have to adjust it again, I'm sure, as soon as I get into the next scene. Doesn't matter. Okay, so what's the plan for today? 4 reactions. There's a reason we're doing 4, though, and that's because they're all on theme, okay? I while I was on vacation, while I was like checking Twitter and I was doing just a little bit of back end work in terms of like getting things that I wanted to check out into the Reaction Links Discord channel, I wasn't watching any of the game announcements. I didn't see any of them. So we literally have everything that happened between June 2nd to June 16th available to us to react to. And instead of doing watch parties like a lot of people did where they like, you know, just reacted to the whole thing all at once, some of these events are very long. I'm just going to start chewing through them. I'm just going to do them like we normally do, just all of those games, not all of them, the ones that on a very cursory surface glance that I was like, I might like that. I put into the Reaction Links channel, so I literally have like 200 fucking trailers in there. It's absurd. But there are 4 in particular or 2, but that can be broken into 4 that we're breaking into 4 in particular that are extremely important for us to do. And that is the Final Fantasy stuff. There's a fucking Buster Sword behind me, man. I love Final Fantasy, and I have not looked at Final Fantasy 16. I have not looked at anything for the Final Fantasy 7 25th anniversary. I know what was announced. I didn't turn off Twitter for 2 weeks, so I know everything that was announced. But I've not looked at the trailers. I've only seen like 2 screenshots, one of Final Fantasy 16 and 3, because I've seen one of the Crisis Core remake and one of Rebirth. You love Final Fantasy, and I don't care about Final Fantasy. Perfect. The dichotomy is present. So, let's get Stream Raiders fired up. Which direction are we going? We get token chest or skin chest. We'll go towards skin chest since I should be on my normal schedule and we'll be able to get the tokens that are needed. Oh, let me get Athena's Stream Raider fired up. Get it fired up. You put a gun in your mouth and fired up. For context, that is Darth Vader versus Adolf Hitler, number 3 of epic rap battles. I realize completely out of context saying that line is like really out there. I was like, whoa, okay, that's a little far out there to just not have any context at all. I feel like I need to go a step further and just grab it real quick for the sake of posterity. Hang on. Because I don't think I can just leave. I don't think I can just leave that line. Didn't help I tuned back Adolf Hitler. I'm sorry. Vader versus Hitler 3. Spotify, calm down. Okay, here it is. Okay, so these are the epic rap battles of history. I'm just forwarding to the part for context, okay? It's Vader's verse. There you go. No sound for you, really. Interesting. Let's see if we can fix that. Could you hear the music earlier? I thought I tested it and I could hear the music. I thought the music was coming through. No, I don't think so. Okay, cool. Only my talking. All right, well, that's why we're doing this now. All right, let me turn this like this, and let me go like this, and let me bring this like here. Okay, let's see. This might be loud, and I apologize if it is.
Let me paint you a picture, son. Portrait of a bitch after World War I. You a story of the fears of the German people, telling the world that the Jews are evil. You wrote a little book, got 'em fired up. How to be your hall book, got 'em fired up. When your bunker started getting fired up, you put a gun in your mouth and fired up. You dumb.
Okay, I could see that came through, unless it's muted for whatever reason. But that's the context for that random out of context line. Quite loud compared to me. Really? Man, looking at the levels, it shouldn't have been. Okay, hang on. If I bring it down, right there should be pretty good. It should be quieter than me now, at least according to like the level, but maybe not, maybe more. Why is this suddenly broken all of a sudden? Okay, we'll put it there. Hopefully that's pretty good. Oh, I wonder if did this get changed again? No, that's where it should be. Okay. Okay, I'll put it back here again. Is it still louder than me? Like, slightly louder? It's turned it way down. That is perfect. Awesome. Okay. Cool. Thank you, Eve. Okay. Did I actually start this battle? I did start this battle. Okay. I did. Watch, we're gonna play the Final Fantasy videos now, and they're just gonna be like comically quiet, and it's gonna be like, God damn it, you can never win. I mean, I could hear it just fine. That wasn't changing my headphones at all. Like, that was strictly changing it for the stream. Oh, compared to my usual plans, be fine. We'll do it. We'll just roll with it. It'll be fine. Okay, we need to go over here though. All right. Yeah. Oh God, can't. Oh, hang on. Let me make me less big so that those wobbles. Why is the camera so loose? I don't know if I can tighten it without. God damn it, Eve. It's alright, Eve. I can just do this. Boop. Now all of the previous conversation is gone, including the weird stuff about Hitler and Vader and shit. Hey. Camera less wobbly? A little bit. All right. Okay. All of that struggle bus shit done and taken care of. Here we are. Okay. So now, what are we doing? These are the reactions. We do these before our regularly scheduled content. And some smattering of ways between our Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday streams. These are my take on your reaction style content that you see online. I do these live on stream because it makes for a more dynamic and interactive experience. That makes it more entertaining for me as the content creator, something to do together as the community on stream, and it can lead to a more diverse opinion and conversation that people can be a part of on YouTube later. So the way these work, I'll read an intro off of my head, we'll check out the trailer, we'll have a conversation, eventually I'll read an outro, I'll make a face, and then we rinse and repeat. And that's the process. Just no jumping, Jackson. You'll be fine. The desk is pretty sturdy. It's just the arm that the camera is mounted to is literally like an $11 arm. All right. We'll start with the big one. Greetings and salutations. My name is Michael Schwan and welcome to the channel. We have some more reaction content for you, and today we are checking out the official reveal trailer for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2, which is not actually remake in the terms of that they're remaking the game, but that it's actually the continuation of the series, and that the remake was them being all kinds of like triple layers of conspiracy deep on us, and they're like, yeah, you just thought we were calling it remake because we remade it, but it's not actually that. It's more than that, and we're going to prove it to you when we name the next one not Remake Part 2, but Rebirth. And so, yeah, all of that said, here we go. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which I have some thoughts on what the name could mean, but I'll save them for after we watch the trailer. Now, I guessed before this one came out is that if Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 was even announced at this Final Fantasy VII 25th anniversary, that it wasn't going to be much. My guess was maybe some voiceover, like someone talking, like maybe Aerith or somebody talking about some mystical shit, some sort of abstract view, like the live stream flowing around, and then a fucking logo, right? And nothing else, which we got the logo, so I was right on that one, but we'll see what else we got. All right, we'll see what else we got. If there's anything more depth in there. So is Macmillan part of this naming scheme? I don't know who that is. Or do you mean Maximilian? In which case I don't think so, but I don't know who Macmillan is.
What we've done, that's set in stone. The past is forever. But the future, even if it has been written, can be changed. So focus on the future, not the past.
Oh, we saw a picture of Meteor. Oh, this is new.
What he started. He wants to reclaim his birthright.
Can I get some fucking pixels, bro? Holy. No, I can't. Okay.
Planet with Genova at his side. I saw you lying there. I figured it was too late.
Wait, what are you implying? That I died? That I'm some kind of imposter?
You were here with me 5 years ago. Where are you? What happened to you?
I'm trying so hard to find you.
Sorry. Feel like I failed you.
Oh, man. Oh, man. I wonder if there's a note to the viewers, not the actual video. Focus on the future, not the past. Well, at the end of Final Fantasy VII Remake, they basically give you a nod that to temper your expectations for the future games, of that it's not, they're going to do more of what they want and not necessarily a one-to-one of the original game. Please don't change the one thing I'm most excited about Remake. Are you talking about a particular person being impaled? So, you know, here's the interesting thing, and the end of this is kind of actually, like, this trailer is actually spoilery of the end of Final Fantasy VII Remake's extra DLC, in which you see that Zack and Cloud, in some form, in some universe, make it to Midgar, or he doesn't die where he died originally, which is odd. Right? It's strange. It's weird. It's like, okay, well, what does that mean? And, well, we don't know. We don't know what that means, because that was part of the naming idea of Remake, is that the world has been remade. I say that without knowing actually that that's what's happened, but in essence, that's what we're talking about, because there are hints that people know what is supposed to happen. In terms of, like, this is the flow of time, the flow of destiny, the flow of fate. And there are things trying to keep that the way it is, and people that are aware that it is supposed to be a certain way. And obviously, it doesn't stay that way, which changes the course of, well, time, fate, and destiny. And that's where that whole idea comes in of the next games could really be whatever they wanted. I do still strongly believe that at their core, these games will still follow a lot of the major beats of the original game. I don't think that they're going to go off on some random, wild other direction. I don't believe that in the slightest. But we do have new wrenches into the story. Zack was gone, wasn't he? Yes. That's why Cloud got his Buster Sword to begin with, if I recall. That is correct. And that also raises the other question of, like, if they technically both survive, in Remake, you do play as Cloud with the Buster Sword, and Zack is not around. But at the end, you see that there might have been a potential that Zack survived. But was it in your current dimension or a different one? Is there different realities? How do we tell? What do we do? What do we know? And that's part of the trouble of trying to figure this out. Now, And the other part of that, though, is that with this name, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a very interesting approach, okay? Because there's a lot of things that Rebirth could mean. Because there's a lot of things involving birth in Final Fantasy VII. And the ones that I'll touch on the most is that, so we're going to be looking at the original story here. Okay, and in the original story, we have the rebirth of Jenova. Jenova gets reborn, and it's actually one of the main bosses that you fight in the original game. And Jenova's rebirth takes place at the City of the Ancients, where a particular event that a lot of people are wondering how is going to be handled, it happens at. In fact, it happens literally, like, right after that event happens, you fight Jenova Rebirth, or Jenova Birth, I think is what it's called in the original game. But there are more things involving birth in this game, because, for instance, before the main game, Zack and Cloud get shoved into a tank and are filled with a bunch of life stream and Jenova cells and stuff, and they manage to burst out of their life stream wombs, and that's what you see right there at the end, where Zack and Cloud are limping their way towards Midgar, was them trying to make the journey literally halfway across the world after breaking out of there, which led to essentially the birth of who Cloud is today, because he was a very different person before those events. And on top of that, at the end of Disc 1? Is it Disc 1 or Disc 2? Disc 1. It's at the end of Disc 1, I think. 2? I don't know. Anyway, at the end of one of the discs of the original game, after the events of the City of the Ancients, you go up to the northern crater, go through Gaia's Cliff, through the Whirlwind Maze, where the first, interaction with the true form of Sephiroth takes place, and it's where Cloud gets his mind fucked over and he gives Sephiroth the black materia, in a way leading to the rebirth of Sephiroth himself. There's a lot of spots that this game could cover. Now, it does make me believe that this game is going to cover up to around where I just mentioned, which is also very mind-blowing for me, because Final Fantasy VII Remake only covered Midgar, the first 4 to 6.5 hours of the game, depending on the pace that you're taking, of the original game that took around 40 hours to complete. Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1 was 10% of the original story. A lot of actual story does happen in Midgar, but it's interesting to me that of your total playtime, only about 10% was covered by the first game. Now, again, a lot of playtime in these JRPGs is battles, right? I don't know how long a playtime for Final Fantasy VII would take if you just removed every random battle that existed. It's probably not very long. And so I'm guessing it's maybe 8 hours, maybe 10 if you removed all of the random battles. Like, go ahead and keep the boss battles, but everything else, if you remove them, it's probably like 10 hours long. So that would mean that part 1 is like, a third, which is reasonable. Now, but from Midgar, I'm just going to go real quick. You go to Chocobo Farm, Mithril Caves, Fort Condor, Junon, Costa del Sol, Coral Town. It's called North Coral. Golden Saucer, Gungaga, Cosmo Canyon, Nibelheim, Rocket Town, Wutai, Temple of the Ancients, I can't remember what the name of the excavation site is called. the Forgotten Forest, the City of the Ancients, Icicle Inn, Gaia's Cliffs, Whirlwind Maze, well, Northern Glacier, Gaia's Cliffs, Whirlwind Maze, bam. All of that, that's what I like, and I'm probably missing something, by the way. Everything that I just rattled off, that's all between the end of Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1 and where I'm guessing this one ends. It's a lot. It's an absurd amount, which is why initially I was like, man, I don't think that they will go that far. If they do, wow, power to them. Although at the same time, it makes me very, very nervous about the quality of those locations in terms of how much time or if some of them are going to be kept, cut. They mentioned new places are going to be added, such as like the Benora, which was a city in Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, the prequel to Final Fantasy VII, because they're wanting to incorporate parts of the compilation. So now that is the mod. I wonder if it exists. What mod? So are we getting 15 Final Fantasy VII games that are Final Fantasy VII? No, actually, with this, they confirmed the game's going to be a trilogy. Which is interesting also because if we continue to look at the location-based progression after the spot that I said, there's only Mediel. And in terms of new locations, after that event, the only new location is Mediel. A mod to remove all random battles, probably. I'm also sure someone's made a YouTube video of it, too. So, I don't know. It's interesting. I'm really curious what Rebirth means. It could mean so many things. We also see at the end of this trailer the reality where Cloud and Zack survive. Because Cloud should have been dead Zack should have been dead at that point. They get cut off by some soldiers. Zack doesn't make it. Cloud survives. And that's what mind fucks him to believing essentially that he's Zack. And so, but if that doesn't happen, if Zack survives, what does that mean in terms of the overall overarching story? It could mean so many things. So many things. So yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what it means. Hello, Ella Hubert. I'm great. So yeah, I don't know. I'm very curious though. I'm looking forward to it. I know that it's winter. Next winter is what it says. And just to let you know, that means 2024. Next winter. Winter is December 22nd through March 22nd. So you will see this somewhere between the end of December 2023 and like late March 2024. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. It's not as close as next winter might initially make it sound like. But yeah. Anyway, what did you think? What are your thoughts so far on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? Are you excited about it? Are you new to the Final Fantasy VII universe? Because one of the things that I thought was really interesting was one of the directors, the creative director, Tetsuya Nomura, said that they are building Final Fantasy VII Rebirth so that if you wanted to start on Rebirth and you never played anything else in the Final Fantasy VII compilation, old, new, or otherwise, remake, original, etc., you could. And I'm like, whoa, okay. If you say so. So leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Otherwise, if you want to catch up with me on other platforms, two great places to do so are Discord and Twitter. Speaking of Discord, we actually have a channel dedicated to these reactions where you can place links of your own that we watch together live on stream, because I stream 4 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, and I'd love to see you there. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. If you want to catch future videos, please subscribe to the channel, but we're actually going to go check out more Final Fantasy VII shit right now, and if you want to go catch that on the channel, or if I see you in the live stream, thank you, and enjoy. How are you, Ella? Are you good? Thank you for stopping by. We're checking out a whole bunch of the Final Fantasy VII and, well, Final Fantasy 16's in here too, trailers that happened while I was on vacation. I've never watched 7. I'm excited. Do you prefer to watch games, Ella? Like, so interesting, like, note about that. I actually was at my mom's house yesterday, and we've been playing through 2018's God of War. Oh, thank you, Ella. Thank you for a happy Father's Day. And playing through God of War, I'm like, man, my mother would adore this story and these characters in this game. She would think that this is just awesome. And so I went onto YouTube and I was tracking down to see if somebody had done like a cinematic cut of God of War 2018. And they did. There's a couple of people that have done one. And I like looked around at them a little bit and I picked one and they started watching it yesterday. I have way more fun watching Napalm than playing most of the time. I get overwhelmed with menus. That's fine. If you still enjoy it, like, enjoy things how you want. Like, that's one of the things I never understood with people that are like, games shouldn't have an easy mode. And I'm like, it doesn't hurt you to have an easy mode. It doesn't take away from your accomplishments unless you feel like if somebody else beat the game on easy, that somehow takes away from you beating the game on hard. Like, games are entertainment. And they should be entertaining, and they need to be accessible in a form of entertainment. And whatever that means for you is what matters. Like, if it's a matter of watching someone else play it, if it's a matter of adding in a whole bunch of accessibility options, etc., whatever it means for you, that's what matters. I play games that I can play over and over at a slow speed. Fortnite, Senua's Sacrifice, I could play every day. Stardew Valley, we played Stardew Valley for the very first time on Friday. Neither myself nor Athena had ever played Stardew Valley before. Never even touched it. Barely even looked at it. I had heard all of the mini rumblings and stuff about it, but we had never actually played it. And we now have the ability to stream at the same time. So we were like, what should we test out on a tandem stream? So we played it. We started Stardew Valley together, and it both the two streams at the exact same time ran great. And it is a very fun, chill, cute, enjoyable game that is just like, man, you could lose a lot of hours in that by just settling in, nestling down. Like, man, if I put that on my Steam Deck, I'm fucked. What's up? I don't know. I'm tilling parsnips. Don't worry about it. You know it's 3 a.m., right? I don't care. I'm going to try and figure out a tandem stream. If you have tips, I'm sure Napalm wouldn't mind. I think the 2-stream power couple was a great idea. It was really cool to see both of you streaming. It was a lot of fun. I'm really glad that it worked. And, like, we have a couple of things that we need to work out. But in general, it was a fantastic time. It worked great. Thought you'd play Stardew Valley before. I guess I was just catching the bit of the first time playing. Yeah, Cerulean. And that was the first time either of us had played it. The only thing that I can suggest, Ella, in terms of for tandem streaming, because really what it is it is 2 individual streams that are running through the same household, because we have a full streaming setup down here and a light streaming setup upstairs. They're both really powerful computers, but I'm talking about the amount of hardware and stuff, right? And so the only thing that our concern is since we moved into this house, we've had some issues with the internet, like to the point that we couldn't even do a single solo stream. The internet just couldn't handle it. It was just being garbage. And it's not like we have bad internet. I pay an absurd amount of money for good internet. And so we went back and forth for like 4 months over 5 techs trying to get them to fix our internet because it was so unreliable. And they did finally fix it. So we're supposed to have 75 megabits of upload bandwidth. Now, our ISP supposedly guarantees 65% of your package at all times unless there's an extreme circumstance, which means we should get around 48-ish megabits. And we upload to Twitch at 5,500 kilobits, so 5.5 megabits. So realistically, our stream should take around 11 megabits, leave some room for fluctuation. We need about 15 megabits of consistent, reliable upload bandwidth. And by all rights, we should get that. But we were really nervous about not getting it. And so we were scared that the tandem stream wouldn't work because the internet would just, despite us having the best package and supposedly lots of bandwidth and all that stuff, that it would just not work because it would just be garbage poo-poo. only straw grasp I heard that I can agree with is that if they created with easy in mind when creating makes balancing at medium or high difficult very different and difficult to create an equal set of... I mean, I feel like that's not a question of should games have easy modes or not, and instead should just be a matter... Like, that's a dev question. Arnett might not be strong enough. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what, you know, your internet availability is like in your local area. So we needed, I'm just going to say we needed 15 megabits of upload bandwidth, Ella. But we also upload, like, our streams run, both of our streams run at 1080p 60 frames per second, which means you don't want less than 5 megabits upload for that. Twitch caps out at 6 megabits. You can't upload to Twitch more than 6 megabits per second, but for 1080 60, you don't really want less than 5 megabits per second. If you are streaming at a lower quality and or a lower frame rate, which I will tell you straight out, there is nothing wrong with streaming at 900p. There's nothing wrong with streaming at 720p. You got there's some people that stream at like 960p, which I'm not sure what that's about. But streaming at a lower resolution doesn't affect much on Twitch because Twitch has such an immense amount of compression. Like 1080p looks like not like 1080p. So, if you end up streaming at a lower frame rate, like if you stream at 720p 30 frames per second, then you can get away with significantly lower bandwidth. Like, I think for 720/30, you actually only need like 2 megabits of upload speed. So realistically, if you were both streaming at 720p 30 frames per second, you'd probably only need around 5 megabits per second total of your upload bandwidth. More is obviously better because it'll keep you safer, but it's just a matter of you can get a little bit more room on that. I did do Faces, Eve. I did do Faces. I wish Twitch allowed for higher uploads. You know, you can stream to YouTube in fucking 4K. They'll accept like 48 megabits per second upload. You can just jam them data, and YouTube's like, like it's amazing just how much that they just devour. They do, but just for partners. Do partners get a higher bit rate now? Because last time I checked, they didn't. It was still a flat 6. I heard a rumbling that you could get up to 8 megabits, but even 8 megabits still isn't exactly a ton. Like, it's better, but it's not great. We have 40 up. I guess we're good. So one of the things to keep in mind, though, Ella, and this isn't to dissuade you, this is just a cautionary thing, is that you are almost never going to get your full package. So if your internet's like, yeah, you got 100 megabits down and 40 megabits up, you will probably never get those. And that's why I said that my internet service provider, they don't like that one of their techs let this out of that their packages are on. You tested it? Okay. Yeah, their packages are only actually guaranteed to be up to 65% of the face value. So if it's 100 megabits, you're actually only like reliably going to get 65, which is like one of the factors we had to think about. Like, we're supposed to get this much. How much did we get? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's concerning. 3 flag bearers and 3 archers, either which can be yours for 420 channel points. Most kills going to Zamudi, most assists going to AP10. But I need Athena's stream raiders to calm down. Stop making the noise. Okay. If I remember correctly, they had access to greater than 6 megabits per second. I mean, they might have at one point, and Twitch took it away. I heard 8 here. I got yelled at when I personally did it at 12 so many years ago. Yeah, I mean, Twitch doesn't like to do anything for anybody, so. I don't believe non-affiliates have, like, affiliates don't get much, Ella. We get, like, affiliates really, the only thing we get is the ability to run our own ads. You get the subscription options. Like, it gives you the basic monetization options. You get subs, which gives you sub emotes. You get, I believe you get follower emotes. I don't think you get those if you're not an affiliate. You get the ability to receive bits. You get the ability to run ads. And that's about where it stops. You don't get many other benefits as an affiliate. Although, that said, over what I just listed off, you don't get much as a partner anymore either. You no longer get better revenue splits. I don't know if they actually give you a better bandwidth. The only thing you really get is a check mark that locks you into an aggressive exclusivity deal and more emotes. And that's about it. Going random on these. El Canadiano and Sucher with the scrolls. We'll go this way. When I moved from my last place, I signed up for a gigabit line, and initially, for some reason, I could only get 600 megabits up and down, and they refunded me for the months I couldn't get a full 1 gigabits. That's Canada, so it's different from the United States. Yeah, the United States didn't give a shit. As long as you're giving people money, that's what they care about. They removed the exclusivity, or was that soon? I know for an absolute fact they have not removed the exclusivity contract from their partner deals. Like, I know I have personally spoken to partners that have dropped, like, not renewed their partner contract to get out of the exclusivity clause because it wasn't worth it, because they didn't get anything but some emotes. So there are affiliates that are regularly streaming to 1,000+ concurrent viewers because the partner contract is that shit. I was talking about it this year. Oh, no, this is in the last couple of months that I'm talking about. In the last couple of months, partners no longer have an account manager at all. I'm sure the super large ones still do. Like, I bet XQC still has an account manager, but I'm guessing there's no longer general partner account managers because they just don't put any value on them. Concurrently, as in multi-platform streaming? No. So your CCV concurrent viewers is just your viewer average. They just call it CCV instead. Also, thank you for that hydrate a while ago, Ella Hubert. I appreciate that. People try to push for it. Honestly sucks because they frankly become fake, different people. Yeah, that's one of the, like, I actually checked for the first time in a long time my numbers for Stream Raider affiliate. I have 14 of 20 average viewers, and that's the only thing that I'm missing is average viewers. And I know that there's lots of people that still do partner pushes for Stream Raiders, and I just still don't want to. And I would never do... Unless there was a genuinely massive incentive for it, I don't see any reason ever to do partner pushes on Twitch. I don't feel like it does anything for you. Like, I know there's a group of people that I know that are, like, trying to help as many people get to partner as possible, and I'm like, but why? Like, but why? Why would we... What does that... What does that achieve? What does that give you? Because it'd be like a check mark on Twitch. Like, in some ways, is a negative. Some people get pissed if you have a check mark on Twitch and you're just, like, chatting in someone's chat because it's like an advertisement for yourself, which is ridiculous, by the way. But, like, yeah. I know a few people who are in the 1 to 3K range of viewers who lost their partner manager, or some at 20 viewers who never had them, who are partnered since Justin TV's side. Yeah, I mean, Twitch doesn't actually want to provide any support. Like, their recent ad program incentive is literally just to make them more money. I love how they swing it, by the way, of, like, trying to get people to run 3 minutes of uninterrupted ads per hour for a 55% increase of their ad split. But what's funny is you don't get 55% of the ad revenue. Your ad revenue is increased by 55%, which is not the same, because 55% of 3 cents is 1 extra cent. Like, it's such a garbage amount of money. Like, if they actually did a reasonable split with the creators, you'd probably see more people run ads, but... Congrats, you gonna put Twitch partner on your resume? I mean, some people do. You can swing it. Like, there's a lot of things involved with streaming that can apply to, like salary jobs, essentially. You just got to swing it right. Hell, I know people that have swung putting D&D, being a D&D dungeon master on their resume. Last I checked, you had partners come and visit you, and none of those people were jackasses. They seem like decent folk. Yeah, we have a few partners that pop in every now and again, and they're all delightful people. Like, I don't understand. I will admit, myself personally, when I see a partner in chat, and I don't mean my chat, I just mean chat in general, I'm like, what do you stream? Because especially in large content creators chats where there's just a sea of people, the checkmark does stand out. It's like, oh, you're actually another content creator. What do you make? And I think that's why that makes some people grumpy, because you're like not paying attention to them anymore. But like, guys, come on. If you are being entertaining enough, and if you are a decent enough streamer and you vibe with that person well enough, even after they click to go see what that other person streams, they will come back if they want to. If they don't, then that's not on the person who was a partner, okay? You may want to point fingers and blame them, but it's not their fault. Like, they were just trying to come hang out with you and talk to you. It's a matter of perspective. Yes. It's a matter of perspective, really. Reminds me of the ad stuff I posted in your Discord, who knows, long ago. Yeah. Their ad stuff is garbage. I'm offended because a woman took a picture of herself. Yeah, people, yeah. I'm offended because I get 0 viewers and Y gets 6,000. I will say, there are some content creators that have a lot of viewers, and I've watched them, and I'm like, I don't get it. Like, I'm not offended or upset by it, but there's some that I watch them, and I'm like, I don't get it. Why are there so many of you here? I don't understand. Whatever. Enjoy it, I guess. I'm gonna go watch something else. Okay, let's bust out another one of these. Okay. Greetings and salutations. My name is MacLeod, and welcome to the channel. We have some more reaction content for you, and today we are checking out Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII Reunion, official reveal trailer. This was easily the most surprising announcement for me from the Final Fantasy VII 25th anniversary, because I didn't think that this would ever happen. I was really, really, really excited for Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, which I realized they announced something there, and I haven't watched the trailer for it yet. We'll do that later. But I was really excited for Ever Crisis for a multitude of reasons, because it brings in, before Crisis, Crisis Core, the original game, Dirge of Cerberus. It brings all of it together, right? Which is cool. And Crisis Core is a game, up until now, that is still very, very inaccessible. It is primarily locked to the PlayStation Portable system. Yes, there's ways to emulate it. That's not the point that we're talking about. So, and Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII as a franchise, is very, very, very dear to me. I started playing the original game when I was probably too young. There's a long story involved with it, but it left such a massive imprint and impression on me and my life, and it has never left. It is something so near and dear to me that it will, like, Final Fantasy VII will just never leave the top of my gaming pillars ever, because of the impact it's had on me as a person. Now, Crisis Core is also important in that same way, because my very first paycheck that I ever got from my very first official job, I grew up in the middle of nowhere, so I did like farm jobs and shit and got paid by the farmer. Doesn't count. My first official job that had taxes that were reported to the IRS, my very first paycheck was right around the time that this game had come out, essentially. I went down to Walmart. I spent my entire paycheck on a PlayStation Portable and a copy of Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. Literally, in fact, my entire paycheck didn't even cover the whole thing. I had to borrow like $17 from a friend. So and I played it and played it and played it and played it and played it. Like, I I even did the thing of like holding my PSP flat on the desk at school and like hitting buttons behind like the stack of books and stuff and only looking for it here and there occasionally. So this game means a lot to me. And like with all video games, it's imperfect. It's an imperfect game. Crisis Core has its problems from both a storytelling and a gameplay design standpoint, but it's still a game that I cherish for nostalgia memories, really. And also, it's one of the largest pieces of actual extended universe that exists within the Final Fantasy VII compilation. I rattled off some of the other pieces: Before Crisis, Advent Children, Crisis Core, the main game, Dirge of Cerberus, etc. And so this is still larger than anything besides the original game because it has so much put into it and it focuses on such an important part of the original story. The game is old though. So I'm going to stop talking about what this game means to me and let's take a look at it, because I've played the PSP one relatively recently and man, it still looks okay, but it was a PSP game and it's old. So, let's go.
Boy, oh boy.
Seems quiet as fuck.
The price of freedom is steep.
Zach speaking.
Making progress, Zach?
And Gio. I can cut loose, right?
Within reason.
It's showtime.
Wait. Is it supposed to be a frozen-ass picture like that? I don't think it's supposed to be. Also, hold on. Why does this seem so quiet? Let me see if I can't make that just a little bit louder real quick. I'm sorry. That's not what I wanted at all. Volume mixer. Is my browser turned all the way up? It is turned all the way up. This is just that quiet of a video. Okay.
I can cut loose, right?
All right, let's... Man, it's still janky. Which channel is this on? This is on Game Trailers. Let's just... Maybe the Game Trailers upload is bad. This is Final Fantasies. So this is the official channel. It'll probably work on this one. Oh, it's also louder.
Boy, oh boy.
Imagine that.
The price of freedom is steep.
No subtitles, but we're fine.
Zach speaking.
Making progress, Zach?
And Gio. I can cut loose, right?
Within reason.
It's showtime.
Soldier First Class Genesis. A month ago.
Hey, Genesis.
he
Zup,
went
bitch.
missing during a mission in Wutai.
You know, I've never actually seen you use that. Don't you think it's sort of a waste?
Use brings about wear, tear, and rust.
This looks pretty good.
And that's a real waste.
Like, visually, this looks pretty good. Obviously, it doesn't look on the level of, like, remake or anything like that, but if you compare this to the PSP version, man, this looks insanely good.
Project G gave birth to the man we know as Genesis.
Project G.
Project Genesis.
Settle down. Zack the puppy. What do you know?
Shit-roll lapdogs!
I guess that means that they finally worked out some rights issues with fucking Gact. Wonder how much they had to pay him.
Hello?
Heaven?
Not quite. It's a church.
By the way, what is your dream?
They must have had to completely
Become
redo
first?
some of these models.
Is it?
No, to become a hero.
Ah, good. Unattainable dreams are the best kind.
Embrace your dreams. And whatever happens, protect your honor.
As soldier! Come and get it!
Neat. And this comes out this winter. So this should be out within the next 6 to 9 months, which is ballin'. IGN, GameSpot, and a few others ripped directly from the live stream. Yeah, I mean, they're just trying to get their trailers up as fast as they can, but it'd help if they quality check them. This looks much better than Kingdom Hearts 3D Zack, which is the only Zack I know of. I mean, it's not hard to beat out most Kingdom Hearts visuals, at least unless you're looking at 3. Looks better than the HD version of the other PSP game that was Type 0 when it was ported over. Oh, man, poor Type 0. Speaking of Hajime Tabata, man, Tabata has such a bad track record with Final Fantasy in development. Tabata developed this game. He also developed Final Fantasy Type 0 and was the director on Final Fantasy 15. 3 games that were just plagued with development issues. Crisis Core is the only one that went relatively smoothly, and it even wasn't completely smooth, but Type 0 had massive problems in its development. I just hope it isn't minimalist what they did. What do you mean by minimalist? Because, like, gameplay-wise, Crisis Core still plays really, really well. Like, super well. It has some repetition in its side missions. There's like 500 plus like VR missions essentially, and those get really samey really quick. I've played them all, but they reuse a lot of zones, and of course across 500 missions they reuse a lot of assets and enemies and stuff like that. But otherwise, the rest of the game, it plays just fine. It just looks dated visually, which is a lot of what it looks like they're trying to address here. These character models look fantastic. I think they look great. Especially, I'm sure someone has to have made a comparison video. Yes? Crisis Core comparison. Somebody has to have made one already. Side by side. We'll go with this one from Siku 1. Let's just get in here. I mean, good God. Okay, there's no way you can... Okay, this isn't even necessarily what I'd... How do you call this a... What are they labeling this as? Is this are they trying to label this as a remaster? Because we have the original on the left here, right? The reunion on the right. These are nowhere close to the same. The train is entirely different. Like, Zack is standing in the same pose, but his proportions are different. This is a whole new model, a new train. I guess they could have painted a texture on this building, but man, there's a lot here. 180p looking ass bitch. And then we got Genesis over here. Man, the difference in that one. Okay, I'm gonna just keep clicking through here. Okay. It looks like they did clean up the UI a lot, and a lot of the UI of the new one, it looks very, very much like the UI from Final Fantasy VII Remake. What else is in here? Old Angeal versus new Angeal. Man, so like...
And that's a...
Here's the interesting thing again, though. Like, they must have had to remake a lot of things here. Because the environments are completely different. Like, if we go back here just a little ways, this is grass behind him, and he's got stone behind him here. And then here we... Wait, where was the other one here? Where is it? Go back. I missed it. Please, work with me here. All right, we'll just play it.
You know, I've never actually seen you use that. Don't you think it's sort of a waste?
Use brings about wear, tear.
Look at the difference in the background here. You got a couple of shrubs and just a flat rock. This is fully textured out, like, stuff. Like, these are full-on different plants and fauna. There's a tree added in. They're keeping the roulette combat? Oh, of course they are. They're not going to rebuild the combat system. I think that's one of the things that would constitute it as a remake over a remaster, but even, like, I don't know, like, this is such a middle point between something that's called a remaster, because in my mind, a remaster would be going into this, like, adding in a shitload of anti-aliasing to remove these edgings, slapping on some higher definition textures and then just shipping it out, right? Clean up the UI a little bit maybe. But they've legitimately replaced assets entirely. So there was a lot of work that went into this. You like the cute guy on the right? You talking about Angeal? Angeal's awesome. Feels like the Crash Bandicoot treatment. I haven't looked very closely at the Crash Bandicoot stuff, but... Oh, Genesis? Okay, I'm sure we'll see Genesis in here. Oh, I mean, I know we will, but... See, and like, these are much closer. Well, okay, I say that, actually, and unless it's a lot of blur in the background, this wall is completely different. And the angle of the wall looks different, too, like they did new camera work. That's an entirely new model. There's no way you can put these textures on that and make that work. That's just a new Bahamut model. So, I feel like really what they did was... Oh, hold on. The sword's different. That's good. Okay, I'm glad. One of the things that was a problem with Crisis Core is this was the Buster Sword in Crisis Core. It had this gold filigree on it, and then the sword in all of the rest of Final Fantasy VII has this, like, rebar, steel bar, bolts looking stuff, right? And one of the things that people thought was that at some point Cloud had put this metal bolt over top of this, and I guess they've just abandoned that, or like, no, it just looks like this, which is fine. It's perfectly fine. It works great. Okay, so they didn't really do much with this besides update the sword. Like, this is clearly higher resolution, but I'm thinking it's just because the PSP cutscene was just at a lower resolution, and they just re-rendered it if they still had the files. Oh, man. Oh, God. Look at those models. Woo! Woo! Oh! Ooh. Oh, man, you can count the pixels that make up his helmet. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's like 8 pixels that make up this little light here. Woo! All right, let's go find Genesis. Let's go find him. Let's get a comparison. There he is. Genesis, get in here. Oh man, that looks so good. Looks so good. It looks even better than I thought it did now that I'm seeing it as a side-by-side.
What do you know?
Man, Genesis, you look good. Yeah, Genesis looks real good. Although, so that is one of the things I'm also curious of what the deal was with Gact. So, for context, one of the biggest issues with Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core and why it never got put anywhere is this character in the red jacket, Genesis. His model, his likeness, his voice, everything is Japanese pop star Gact. And apparently Gact is, I don't know if he's a jerk or an asshole or anything like that. And like, unfortunately, my brain to me is like, he's a tool. After this game, he really didn't want Square Enix doing anything else with his likeness. And that led to this game being just lost, essentially, for the longest time. And so I guess they figured out some way to get around that issue because Gact is here. I mean, yeah. So I'm happy for that, although it does make the possibility of Genesis appearing in the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy. So they had to wait for him to not be popular and retire. It only took 15 years. Yeah, maybe. That could be it. But, yeah, this looks really good. Sephiroth looks great. Although it does look like they just pulled the model from Remake.
It's a church.
Aerith looks great. One of the other things that I like about this is that one of the things that they did, and can I get rid of that? Thank you. One of the things they did in Crisis Core is they changed Aerith's face. She didn't like, and I understand that they're like, she's younger, so her face would be different, but it's like, it kind of looks like her sister. But yeah, very significant amount of detail here. Although it is interesting because I'm seeing so much that feels like they're just using the remake models, which is not bad. Probably what made this easy enough to make. Man, yeah, you're not kidding, Eve. Look at those flowers. We got one little, like, 6-leaf twig, and then the normal flowers from the church. All right, what else do we got? Just some still comparisons? Okay, that's fine. Man, that looks great. And it comes out soon. I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited to play this game. Isn't it coming out on everything? Yeah, PlayStation 5, 4, Nintendo Switch, Xbox Series X and X, Xbox One, Steam. Oh man, we don't even have to deal with the fucking Epic Game Store for this shit. Nice. I'm stoked. I'm gonna enjoy the hell out of this. I'm going to enjoy the hell out of it. You going to get it for Steam Deck? I mean, getting it for Steam alone puts it on my Steam Deck, but I'll probably absolutely get it on Steam 100% because I'll be able to crank it up as high as I absolutely can possibly do. I have a new screen coming in that I'll be like, can I put this game in 4K? I want to look at the individual strands of Zach's hair. You know, something interesting though. Something that I just realized. We don't see Cloud in this. Cloud does appear in Crisis Core. He is a side character. I mean, he's like a side character. Like, instead of a B character, he's like a C character. But they don't show him at all in this trailer. Interesting. Fascinating. Huh. Anyway, what did you think? I've rambled a lot, but that said, I also really like this game, and I'm excited, and I have a long history with this game. What are your thoughts? Leave it down in the comments below. Did you play the original Crisis Core? If you did, what are your thoughts going into this new version of it? If you didn't, are you interested in what you see here? Are you just now joining the Final Fantasy VII universe? If so, I would love to talk to you, because having the perspective of somebody who's not involved with it is awesome. So, yeah, let me know. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. If you want to keep the conversation elsewhere, two great places to do so are Discord and Twitter. Speaking of Discord, we actually have a channel dedicated to these reactions where you can place links of your own that we can watch together live on stream, because we do stream 4 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, and I'd love to see you there. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. If you want to catch future videos, please subscribe to the channel. We have more Final Fantasy stuff we're going to go check out right now, so if you go find it on the channel, or if I see you in the live stream, thank you and enjoy. No, Epic, this is bullshit. You wanted it on Epic, Eve? Okay, you made your face. I did. I made the face. Oh, actually, let me grab this trailer, the one that works, and let me replace it in my Discord real quick. I apologize if that comment shows up at the... No, it's perfectly fine. I could also at any point in time just hit a button and clear chat off of the off of the overlay. I'm not concerned about it. Unless there's something that's like bad, obviously, or if something that just would just be very confusing. I actually like leaving like the old chat up, because it could give the it could put in the idea to people that watch it on YouTube that this was live on stream and that there was a conversation that was happening before, you know, that it is something that is like its own thing. What did I just do? Anyway, I didn't actually copy that. I copied something completely different. Edit. There we go. There we go. Got it. I found the picture I talked about. $11 each month for 4 minutes of ads per hour if you stream 54 hours. It's a great amount of money. I want to run, you know, what is that? 216 minutes of ads to earn $11. I want to run, 3.5 hours of ads to earn $11. My viewers' time is totally worth me earning a whopping $3.66 an hour. That's like more than servers make, man. So much money. Okay, anyway. Oh, Lord. We've already been at this for an hour and a half. We've only got through 2 of these. I've been talking. Oh, I should actually probably check the time on the battle. I'm pretty sure it's almost ready. 37 seconds. Good job, me. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lordy Lord. I bet you could ask, hey, give me $10 and I won't be running ads for a month. Oh, yeah. And most of us would give it to you. Hell, shit. You could just be like, hey, there's 30 of you right now. If each of you give me $1, I triple the amount of money that I would make from Twitch if I ran 3 hours of ads. Although, admittedly, if there was a way for me to run like a minute of ads an hour and turn off pre-roll ads, I would. I fucking hate pre-roll ads. Especially when pre-roll ads play during raids. Like when someone raids in and they get stuck with a fucking pre-roll ad, that is just it's garbage. Garbage poo-poo. I don't like it. Do subs get ads? I thought that wasn't supposed to be a thing anymore. Or did they add them back in because they're so desperate for ad money? $15 gold and 1 vampire, either of which can be yours for 420 channel points. Most kills to myself, followed by El Canadiano. Most assists, a 4-way tie between El Canadiano, AP10, Hot Suib, and Athena Latina. I wish I could get free bits again. Yeah, right? Twitch just keeps taking shit away. They're not even adding anything. I do have Twitch Turbo, so I haven't seen a Twitch ad in a long time. But I pay for Twitch Turbo because I jump stream so often, and I can't subscribe to everybody. Unfortunately, I just can't. I wish I could support everyone that I want to support beyond just a follow, but it's not financially possible for me at this point. Sucks. I really wish that Twitch Turbo functioned the way that shit like Spotify Premium and YouTube Red did. Of that, your part of your Twitch Turbo subscription goes to the people that you watch the most, right? You're a streamer, you must be rich. Massive piles of cash. Huge, just all of the money. Tons of it. More money than you can possibly imagine. I make Elon Musk look like a peasant. Yep. Don't let him know I said that, though, because otherwise he'll send, like, a Starlink drone to my house and burn it down. But, yeah, because, like, I know that with YouTube Red, it's $10 a month, and it removes all ads, and also, like, I forget what percentage of it. I think I'll just say half of it. Half of the money is divided up across who you watch. So, like, if they have monetization, obviously. If they don't have monetization, they don't get anything. So, if you only watch one YouTuber ever, and you have YouTube Red, they get $5, you know, or whatever it is. El Canadiano with the gold. My Elateur with the vampire. Back to the map. And Spotify Premium is a similar way. If you pay their like $9 a month or whatever, whoever you listen to the most gets a portion of, like, they take the part for operating, the part for whatever, and then whatever's left gets divided across everyone that you listen to. Twitch Turbo does not work that way. I need assists. Assists are pretty easy to get with paladins. But Amazon on Twitch just want to be greedy AF. It does work in that way. They would get the ad revenue. They do run as if you had watched, though, as if that means anything. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't help. honestly, if you go into if you want to support somebody's stream and you have some extra money, and if you just toss them a $10 donation, that is the same as giving them 4 months of subs, which is insane in terms of the monetary support. Sub numbers are still nice, though. Like, that's for sure. I have goals set out behind my sub numbers because it is just trying to, like, maintain and, like, give rewards for support and stuff. But it's not perfect. It's not perfect. Okay. We still have fucking 2 more of these to go. Did someone say Amazon?
Rank up.
Thank you for that Prime sub, Eve. And damn, 23 months. Holy shit. Eve's like, I'm gonna be that one where in 5 years I resub and someone's gonna be like, 86 months? Holy fuck, that guy's been around a long time. Also, how long this dude been streaming for? Why is he still only got 6 viewers? Let's hope that's not the case. Let's hope the number's a bit higher in 5 more years. Okay. All right, let's go. What was I doing? Right, reactions. There was somebody. I think it was in Maximilian Dude's stream that he had someone renew a sub that their sub was like 121 months or something, and I was like, holy crap, like, that's an insane amount of time. Good job. Like, I think once you hit triple digits in sub numbers, you just, like, win a prize. I have someone who I sub to for, is it Bizzleberry? I fucking love your little Bizzle. I love Bizzleberry's emotes. They're adorable. Okay. No, it's Big Richie. Okay. My coffee has gotten a bit cold. All right, let's do this. Bizzle's at 48 months. Okay. Okay. Greetings and salutations. My name is Michael Schwan, and welcome to the channel. We have some more reaction content for you. Today we are checking out Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. Now, we already know a decent amount about Ever Crisis, but we only saw the initial reveal of it, like, whenever last year, I think. I don't remember what it was. I was really excited about Ever Crisis because when they showed off Ever Crisis, the end screen of it had the logos of everything that was going to be in Ever Crisis. And before that event, I was like, man, you know what I really want? I want a way to play before Crisis. And then one of the logos was Final Fantasy VII Before Crisis, and I lost my shit. It is probably the biggest reaction I have ever had doing these reactions was to Ever Crisis specifically because of what it is and what it's going to contain. Now, it's a mobile title at its core, which means that there could be concerns about monetization. Some people think that it's going to be along the lines of how they did the Final Fantasy 15 mobile, where it's a flat cost that you buy each episode of. I don't know, but I know that I'm excited about it all the same because it does include a complete telling of the original compilation of Final Fantasy VII. And then even more because they had the remake on there as well. So they're just going to put everything into this cute little like chibi/HD mobile title called Ever Crisis. So I'm stoked. And I want it now, but we'll actually look to see what we get out of this trailer. So let's go. Another possibility for a remake. Hey, look, Crisis Core. OG FF7. More Crisis Core. More OG FF7. More Crisis Core. More OG FF7. The beginning of both games, too. Oh, that looks good. Looks real good. Man. Is it actually that grainy, or am I just not actually getting all of the pixels? Looks a bit better. I just want to look at the UI for a little bit. Hi, Shiva. I spotted some of the monetization. You mean the wedding dress? Yes, Eve. I mean the fucking wedding dress. This looks so good, though. I'm so glad. Like, obviously, they're going with a more simpler aesthetic for the art style of, like, moving through the overworld. The combat looks insane. It is interesting. Well, okay, we don't know how long this total project's going to take, right? Because I do believe the announcement has that this is closed beta test in 2022 for iOS and Android. Okay. I need to get a better phone. So it is interesting to me. I don't know how long this project as a total is going to take. So is there a huge meaning between the flash cuts with long and short hair Sephiroth? I honestly have no... Wait. Hold on. Let me go back and look. Is it actually Sephiroth is the question? It is. Okay. Okay. So, from my perspective, I have no idea. And here's the reason that I say that, okay? Sephiroth basically doesn't show up in Before Crisis. Before Crisis almost has none of the main cast in it, because it happens a while before a lot of even Crisis Core happens. And so Before Crisis, Sephiroth already has long hair, main game long hair, Advent Children long hair, Dirge of Cerberus long hair, Remake long hair. We saw him in Rebirth, at least in a flashback form, long hair. So there doesn't seem to be any reason for Sephiroth to have short hair. Now, because even when they talk about him in the past, the first thing that made Sephiroth like a genuine worldwide known hero was him basically pioneering the conquer of Wutai of the Wutai War between Midgar/Shinra and Wutai. But he already had long hair then too. And I don't recall him showing up in Before Crisis, so I don't know why he would have short hair there. Now, one of the things that I will point out though is that in the original announcement, let me pull up the original announcement real quick so that I can look at that screen. 2 days, 1 year ago, teaser trailer. So in the original announcement, where is that screen? Here we go. They have on this screen Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, which was the Final Fantasy VII movie that came out in 2006, 2007, 2008, one of those years. And one of the characters that exists within Final Fantasy VII Advent Children is Kadaj. Oh, I spelled his name wrong. That's fine. So this is Kadaj, if you haven't seen the movie. Can I get a higher resolution picture of him? This will work. This is decent enough. So this is Kadaj. And basically, the concept between Final Fantasy VII Advent Children is that Jenova has... You can't ever truly get rid of Jenova, which is the true protagonist of the Final Fantasy VII series. And her influence on the planet caused these three individuals to spawn, which this is Kadaj. There's two other brothers, Laz and Yazul. But Kadaj looks the most like Sephiroth, has short hair, and in the movie ends up essentially becoming Sephiroth. He takes enough Genova cells inside of him to give Sephiroth new life in himself. And while he does not have the correct outfit, I mean, this is just this one will work a little bit better. He doesn't have the shoulder pads or anything of Sephiroth, like the big white, yellow, the big silver-ish white armored ones like we see here. It could be that an allusion to that here. I think this is supposed to be Sephiroth and not Kadaj, but I literally have no idea what this could mean, genuinely. Because in all of the instances of Sephiroth that we've seen, he has long hair. So the short hair, and also the genuinely younger form, right? Because you see, this is adult Sephiroth, big, wide, broad shoulders. Short hair Sephiroth, his shoulders are down, lower. He's skinnier, he's thinner. So I don't know what this could mean. It could be something about Kadaj. It could be something completely else. So, but he's femmy and I like him. Is he single? Yes. Although he's very obsessed with his mother, just as a warning to you. Speaking about Kadaj. Have a good day, El Canadiano. Take it easy. Thank you for popping in and chatting. And no angel wing, or does the angel wing signify something else? So Sephiroth's black wing isn't always there. It's interesting because if you were more acquainted with like Kingdom Hearts, it puts a really weird like dichotomy against the original trilogy, because in the original game Sephiroth never has that wing, right? The big one black wing. The closest you ever get to Sephiroth having the one black wing, well, having wings at all. Actually, I didn't need to. Oh, I guess it is a black wing. But in the very end of the entire game, one of the 3 bosses of the very end of the original Final Fantasy VII is this character. Is Safer Sephiroth is what it's called. And he does have, you can call it a wing, but it's more like a mutated arm wing. And so, but that's really the closest you get to the one-winged angel. I mean, and his song, the song One-Winged Angel, does play during this fight. But in terms of what you've seen of Sephiroth wing, in terms of what you've seen like this appearance is from Crisis Core. That was not in the original game. It's from Crisis Core, and then it showed up again in Advent Children. And then it's just become more and more and more of what he's associated with. But this is not his appearance, really. I mean, obviously, like if you took the wing away, this is what Sephiroth looks like, of course. But the wing is new. I say new. It's not new, but it's not part of the original core design. And I'm trying to think if he ever even fucking gets it in Remake. My brain doesn't immediately generate an image of him with the wing in Remake Part 1. So I don't know. He could, and I just have forgotten since I haven't played it in like 2 years, and I blitzed through it really fast because I was like, oh, give it to me. But yeah, this wing is not part of his core design. Final phase of the final fight, he has it. All right, thanks, Nuslek. I didn't remember clearly. So, yeah, it's definitely not part of his original design, although it has become such a core part of his design anywhere he shows up besides the core game. So, yeah. I don't know what this means at all. I literally have no idea what younger, short-haired, not as broad shoulders Sephiroth means. So, I would like to know, though. And I don't know how I sign up for the fucking closed beta for this, but God, I want to play this so damn bad. Let's take a closer look at those cosmetics real quick also. Because the first one is right here, right? Can I get some more pixels? Can you reload this frame? I would love if there's a way to tell YouTube to reload a frame. Because we got Cloud. It's like almost his core costume, but it's definitely a samurai style costume. Like, he's got some samurai blades here. His normal metal pauldron is now like a leather pauldron that's layered. And if we can get a view of it, he's got the big samurai pants going on, right? I think it may just be another person. It could be. It also could be like a weird flashback of some sort. Like, one of the things that I could see is that they re-image Kadaj to look even more like Sephiroth, and if this is like a trailer if this is like a cutscene from the Advent Children portion of the game, it could be that this is like Cloud seeing Kadaj, and he's putting the two together. That's why it's flash cutting between the two of them. That's just literally the most wild of guesses, though. Nothing supports that at all. Okay, and then we saw Tifa here, and Tifa has like some honking ass goddamn these her shin guards. But she's also got a blue sweater on. Can we get there we go. She's got like a blue sweater and like a harness of sorts. She's got another big old pad right here. And then Aerith, of course, was by far the most obvious because she is in... Hang on. Let me close some of these fucking tabs. I got too many tabs open. Celeste Share opera dress. Not quite. No, it isn't. Okay. It's close. It's very similar, but it is not the opera dress from Final Fantasy VI. I thought it might have been, but it isn't. Okay. And she's got like a crown. Oh, okay. Hang on. Next question. Hold on. Let's go on a journey. What's the character? What's the crap? Final Fantasy Dissidia NT in PCs. What is your name? I can't remember the name of the good goddess. Is it just called the goddess? Summons. I don't want summons. Your name is... What is your name? Is your name Materia? Oh, your name is Materia. Definitely a different dress again. Okay. I was trying to look at the goddess dresses that existed in the game. What about the Final Fantasy VII remake dress in the cross-dress event? No, it's definitely not that. It's none of the dresses from remake for absolute certain. But it's pretty. She's got a very unique staff. This looks very goddess-y. I wonder if this is like a Final Fantasy I design of some sort. This staff feels very Final Fantasy I Warrior of Light themed with the blues and the gold and stuff. That clipping, though. What clipping? Oh, in her hair? Her hair going through her shoulder? Yeah, I mean, you know. Let's take another look at the UI, too. Because I think it was when... It was when someone was fighting. Was it you, Tifa? Or was it when Aerith was fighting? I don't see it now. So we have... This is when Aerith is fighting. Diamond Dust, Wall Protect, Metal, Spikes, Something Veil, Area Blizzaga, Fira Blow, Diamond Dust. Let's go back another step. So here's an interesting thing. So they're lit up here. They're not here. They have an ability swap here. I'm guessing this is a limit bar. Where's Aerith at? Where she has Diamond Dust ready? That's definitely a limit bar. Bar below is a limit bar. Aerith's limit break is Diamond Dust. Or a summon bar or something like that. There is an auto attack button, which is interesting. We have an auto attack button over here. So you can just, so they're going along the lines of kind of like Final Fantasy VII Remake's combat, which I'm curious what that'll look like in terms of it actually being played, because you got a lot of action going on in here, right? A lot of things are moving around, but it does mean that you are able to just attack, which is, of course, it's got a bar that fills up on it too. And you got the ability, like, these people are glowing right now, and I wonder if that means, that probably means that their ATB bars are ready, and you need to swap to that character and give them commands. Because you might be able to set them to auto. Okay, we can see how many bars it takes. So, like, the metal spike takes 3 bars of ATB. Everything costs 2. And then if we go to somebody else. So here's Zack. Guard Break 2, Rapid Slash 3, Thundara Smash 2, Blizzara 2, Cura 2. Zack's alone here. And then here we have Cloud. I think he's fighting the Guard Scorpion, or here he's fighting Reno. Interesting. Braver is just one of his ATB abilities. Armor Break, Raikiri, Fira Blow, Ruinra. Okay. AFK mobile game stack on the cutscenes? I don't think it is. I think it's an active game. You have an attack. I realize that the YouTube shit's in the way right here, but you have an attack button. And I don't, like, there is an auto up here, so you could auto some battles. I'm not sure how well it would work. You got a lot of HP right now for fighting Reno on the tower, but that could just be for example purposes. So here's my concern, okay? Here is my concern. I am not concerned initially about this, okay? I am not concerned about the samurai clothes, the blue sweater kickboxer, or the wedding dress Aerith. Not worried about this. Here is what I am concerned about, okay? Is that I have played every single Final Fantasy mobile game. I have played all of them. Not necessarily proud of that, but I have. I've played First Soldier. I've played Brave Exvius. I've played all the Bravest. I'm sorry. I've played Record Keeper. I've played Opera Omnia. I've played Mobius. I don't know if I already said that or not. I've played them all, as far as I'm aware, anyway. And there's another one that I'm thinking of, but it doesn't matter right now. But anyway, I've played them all. And some are original stories, some are news stories, okay? But my concern with this is that progress in the stories will feel barred by gear drops. So Final Fantasy 15 played like a relatively normal game, but the game itself was cut up into bits. And so, like, Final Fantasy 15, I think, was sold in 5 episodes, essentially, and you had to pay, like, $5 for each episode. I don't remember the exact amount. But other than that, there wasn't really anything that kept you from playing the game, progressing, grinding stronger. My concern is that this wedding dress isn't just a cosmetic. I am concerned that the gear is on like a gacha style system that you will need in order to have the stats to progress. I don't want them to do that. If they want to sell me each episode, if they want to cut up the original Final Fantasy VII into 4 pieces and sell me each piece for $5. Cut Crisis Core into 3 pieces and sell me each piece for $5. Cut Before Crisis into 2 pieces and sell me each piece for $5. Cut Dirge of Cerberus into 3 pieces for $5 each. Advent Children 3 pieces for $5 each. Whatever. That's fine. But I don't want to be beholden to a loot box RNG style system to have the power to progress through a story, on the idea that the stories wouldn't cost money and instead you're limited by your own ability to progress. That's my only concern. Otherwise, I don't have any concerns. This looks great. I am curious. I will say, I need to look for one more thing in here, okay? Which is non-boss battle fights. Is there fights against something normal? So we have Shinra and Dark Nation or Dark Star, depending on where you're. We have Reno here. What are you fighting, Zach? You are fighting the 2 Gigas bosses. That's the motor ball. Shiva is... I couldn't see what that was. That's apps. Shit. That looks like that is all... Nope, that's a Wu-Tai soldier. Wu-Tai soldier. I can't see what this enemy in the middle is. But it looks big and special. Vajradhara Wu-Tai. Okay. That might be a normal enemy. All level 15 and loot. I mean, that could still be for just like cinematic purposes. Put big numbers on the screen, right? Okay, so here's another interesting thing that I'll point out about this, and then we'll wrap it up, which is there are no normal enemies initially that I can see. There's the 2 Wu-Tai soldiers, but they're next to the Wuja Raja, which I don't know what that is, admittedly, but it looked like it could be a boss-style enemy. So one of the things is that there might not be normal battles, okay? We only saw boss tier battles. We saw Rufus, we saw Reno, we saw the motor ball. I do believe we saw the guard scorpion in there. We saw bosses. We saw apps. And if that's the case, there might not be very many normal battles, which kind of makes sense because there's already a lot going into this, and to add a whole bunch of those high tier models for just you to fight trash would take up a lot of space, and mobile games are having a problem of that. They already take up an absurd amount of space. Genshin Impact. And so with that in mind, it makes me curious what the actual structure system will be, because the interesting thing is we see you moving around zones here, right? We see you moving around the reactor, the church. We saw Zach moving around Midgar upper streets. This is Shinra HQ. We see them in environments, but we don't see them fighting anything smaller. This is the Nibelheim flashback. More of the Nibelheim flashback. Nibelheim looks really good. This is part of Crisis Core. I don't want to talk too much about it. This is the Nibelheim mansion. And so we see them moving through known areas within the world, but we didn't see normal enemies. I feel like there may be minions to level up characters. It makes sense with the auto button. That's a good point, Cerulean. That's a really good point. Like, if you only had boss battles that are in need of attention, an auto button might not be very important unless the game is grindy. But if the game isn't grindy, why the fuck would you need an auto button? So yeah, you're probably right. But it was just an observation that I noticed, that there was very few. We didn't see Cloud attacking basic Ash Shinra soldiers, right? Now, mind you, it's an announcement. It's a celebration trailer. I guess they technically already announced it. And so bigger, flashier things, recognizable characters and enemies, big numbers and stuff is probably just part of them wanting to push the hype for this. But I'm still excited as crap. I just want all of it right now. But what did you think? Where are you sitting on Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis? Please leave your thoughts down in the comments below, because there's so much going on here. I feel like we were able to break down a lot of how the game is going to function, as well as a lot of possibilities in a limited space of what this game is going to be when it comes out. I hope that we see some sort of announcement of how we can sign up for the beta because I would love to try this game out, even if it's in a closed and limited space. I will almost assuredly absolutely play all the way through this without any question. If you want to keep the conversation elsewhere, two great places to do so are Discord and Twitter. Speaking of Discord, we actually have a channel dedicated to these reactions where you can place links of your own that we can check out together live on stream, because we do stream 4 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, and I would love to see you there. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you want to catch future videos, please subscribe to the channel. But we actually have more Final Fantasy stuff to go check out, so if you go check out that video on the channel, or if I see you in the live stream, thank you and enjoy. So you wanted to do God of War today. I wanted to. Whether that happens is another question. But my dumbass talks a lot. A whole lot. I'm going to refill my coffee while this battle is running. I'll be right back. Okay. 1 Musketeer, 50 gold, and 50 gold, any of which can be yours for 420 channel points. Most kills going to AP10, most assists to Gigaton. You think 5k is a lot at 18? We actually max out at level 200 where you can do 20k damage. Can we not do, like, Final Fantasy 12 style numbers? That's one of the things that annoyed me about Final Fantasy 10 and 12 is they both had over limits. There's ways to break the damage cap. So you want WoW instead, 110 max level, and you hit for 350k. Perfect. Sign me up. Miss Bella, hello. Welcome in. We've been watching Final Fantasy trailers for the last hour and 45 minutes. I'm doing great. Athena with the Musketeers, Nestaxon with the gold, Gisroris with the gold. Back to the map. Okay. I don't know what that is. So, Final Fantasy 16, which is a video game, was announced on June 2nd. And Final Fantasy VII just celebrated its 25th anniversary, and they announced a bunch of things in the Final Fantasy VII universe, and I was on vacation during all of this time, and so I haven't actually watched any of the trailers yet, so we're watching them now. And reacting to them and stuff, and they'll get cut up and put up on YouTube later. But hi, welcome in. I'm glad you're here. What do I still need to do? I need to place freaking archers? Gross. Nasty. Oh, yeah, give me the warrior scrolls. I like warrior scrolls. What time is it? I should probably just go ahead and mark this as last. I actually still haven't finished everything that I need to finish from post-vacation. We're almost there, but having 6 full-grown adults in this house for 2 weeks straight, like, we've been slowly putting the house back together. It wasn't wrecked or anything by any means, but just like we were going on hikes and adventures and tours and stuff. And so like, and just 6 people's a lot in general. So. Oh no, shoe prints at the ceiling? No, we're almost done. We need to like essentially like finish vacuuming a bit and clean the bathrooms and throw the last little bit of trash away and stuff. So not really too much, but we need to get it done today since tomorrow is our like is a full week of work. Okay. Minimize that. Go into this. Last one. Good Lord. Especially with Final Fantasy, because I just don't shut up about this shit. Oh my God. That was some crack. Okay. Greetings and salutations. My name is Michael Schwan, and welcome to the channel. We have some more reaction content for you, and today we are checking out the Dominance trailer for Final Fantasy 16. I, amazingly, have not seen this trailer still, because it came out while I was on vacation. And I am very excited about this game, because I love this series more than I should. I love it to a fault. I'll admit that. I'll admit that I love Final Fantasy to a fault. It means so much to me in my life, and I've played so much of these games over my lifetime that whenever the name Final Fantasy is tacked onto something, I'm like, oh yeah, really? What is it? Is it good? Can I have it? Please? I want some. I'll give you money. And I shouldn't do that. Although I did not buy the remaster of Crystal Chronicles, because that ended up being poo-poo-poo. But Final Fantasy 16 is being led by Naoki Yoshida, or Yoshi P, which is the guy behind Final Fantasy 14, and in a lot of ways saved Square Enix as a company by turning Final Fantasy 14 into the massive juggernaut of a game that it is today. And he is leading the team for Final Fantasy 16. And I'm very excited about what that could mean. We did see the initial reveal of this game, I think a year ago now, and it was just the smallest little... But we got almost 3 minutes of trailer here. So, give it to me. Put it in my face hole. And give me some pixels. Go ahead. Give me that 2K. Oh, that 4K. I only got a 1080p screen, but if anything, it'll keep it from looking too pixely.
Who are we? What are the Dominants? The power we wield. It wears away at our
Who is this? This is PlayStation. Why does your trailer feel so quiet?
very being. It breaks us. It unmakes us. That its immaculate aspect might reveal itself. The icon.
They always have a different name for their summons. Espers, Icon, Eidolons, summons.
Every day we delay brings us closer to disaster. We must
I'm just looking at the UI right now.
move now.
Very flashy.
The chaos he would wreak would sweep all of Valisthea into the abyss.
Is this Dynasty Warriors? No, but it is set in a more medieval setting. Rather than the tech fantasy worlds that Final Fantasy normally takes place in.
I unite the Dominants, that we may bring an end.
Hold on. We're gonna have sex scenes in our Final Fantasy now. Anyway, go ahead.
Unite the Dominants, that we may bring an end to the
So flashy.
and found a new order to see us unto tomorrow.
No party? Are you solo?
If I take the field, our duel will shake the island to its foundations.
Titan, Shiva, hello. Bahamut, how are you? Odin, what's up, bro? Ifrit, Phoenix, how are you? The icons fight one another, apparently. in some sort of genuine gameplay, that was 330,000. What's up, Ramu? We got Garuda in here as well. I haven't seen Leviathan yet.
There will be losses, it is true. Yet for every citizen who falls, another can be bred. For every home that burns, another can be built.
That is a fucked up way of looking at this shit.
The Empire will live on.
Phoenix, Titan, Garuda, Ramu, Shiva, Odin, Bahamut, Ifrit. No Leviathan? Really? Okay. Why so much focus on the summons? I mean, even the logo is Phoenix versus Ifrit, right? And half of this trailer was summon combat, which is interesting. Titans, Final Fantasy. Yes. Attack on Final Fantasy. It's good job, me. Clicked right to the naked people. Because, like, we see here, it is our main guy, and he's fighting just a curl, which is cool. And then we saw more normal combat in, maybe? Or are we already in Titan combat?
Our duel will shake the isle.
Hugo Kupka. Again, it's our main guy. This is such a cinematic screen, though. Like, I feel like this is a cinematic moment in the fight. Like a quick time event, almost. Let's go back a little ways.
The delay brings us.
It's a perfectly reasonable way to look at life. Completely reasonable. Yes, just let everyone die and breed new subjects. 4 similar to 3 houses where each house has 1 summon. I think it's actually exactly like that. Except it's like each country has their own summon. Clive, that's your name. So we don't have the boss health bar here. This is a blurry ass picture. Let's see if we can get one that's slightly less blurry. So the enemies just have normal health bars above their head. Clive's here. What do we got? Strength tonic, high potion, Scarlet Cyclone, Rising Flames, Phoenix Shift, and Jump. Okay. And it looks like there's probably 2 more enemies off the side of the screen here. You know, this UI, like these bars really kind of suck. Like this up here is fine and this down here is fine, but this looks, I don't like these bars over their head. Take these bars off. Hopefully this is because he has like a scan materia equipped or something. You can see their life bars, but you can get rid of those. I feel like it just makes the screen look very gamey. Okay, we're still playing as Clive right here. Okay, it looks like your equipment, your party members, for lack of a better term, you don't have multiple people. You have summons, because we see Garuda, Phoenix, and Titan. I'm guessing that's Titan here. And we have, you know, these look like abilities based off of Garuda, Gouge, and Wicked Wheel, and then Deadly Embrace. And if we go back here, there isn't that up here. It just says Clive, but we see a button here for Phoenix Shift, which I'm guessing gives you the power of Phoenix, which gives you new abilities and stuff like that. Hi, Scott Scabbers. So, in essence, both your party members and your equipment are going to be the icons, or the Eidolons, Espers, summons, whatever you want to call them. It's interesting here, too, because here it looks like it's Odin, and Clive's name has disappeared. I wonder if these have their own individual health bars. I don't know. They also have some sort of ATB/limit break gauge here. It doesn't have to do with these abilities, because Gungnir here has been used very recently. These bars are still full, and this looks like it's on a cooldown of sorts now. There's some sort of Odin bar charging up here. Was there one for... There's not one for Titan. That's building up as he deals damage and attacks. These abilities aren't here, though, but he has an ability called Titan Block. And then they spend an entire minute plus being devoted to, that's a scary ass face, Titan, or Ifrit. I'm not sure which one this is. You're scary looking. To the icons fighting each other, which is interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. You know, it does give me pause for wondering what the actual Garuda looks awesome, though. God, your design is sick in this. You're fucking cool looking. God damn. It was, well, the enemy here is Liquid Flame. Ifrit versus question marks. I'm guessing that is, okay, hang on. So if that's Ifrit, that's Titan's symbol. Maybe it's, we saw Bahamut. No, that's a very different logo for Bahamut. I don't know. I don't know who that is, Cerulean. She looks cute. Can we date her? Maybe. I mean, I honestly would not be surprised if you could fucking romance the summons in some form in this game. Especially between Shiva and Garuda, and then you got freaking Odin. There's got Bahamut in here, so it is interesting to me in a lot of ways. I'm curious. I really want a gameplay trailer now, because I'm still going to buy this. I'm still going to enjoy this. I'm going to just, I'm a blind Final Fantasy fan, but one of the things about this, it makes me really curious how this works. Because, for instance, like right here, so Titan, again, has replaced Clive up in the corner here, and his attack ability, because we see here, we have attack and AE, I'm going to guess like aerial or something like that. And we even see that, and then here it's been replaced with wind up and upheaval. And the R2, like, button is gone. So, like, actually, hang on. Oh, this is a good clip right here. This is a great clip right here. So, attack, arrow, deadly embrace with Garuda. Switches to Titan. Titan has wind up and upheaval available. He uses one of them and it switches back into regular abilities. Okay, so you are able to swap around these, because he was using Garuda and then swapped into Titan. And Titan's abilities got used in some form. Let me look at one other thing. I don't know what the bars mean. You build them up, but it doesn't look like he spent the bar at all. So I don't know what these energy bars mean. It might mean the amount of energy needed to summon them to turn into, like, because we see Shiva. Where is it? Where are you at? Where are you? Nope. Like, we saw a lot of them fighting one another, right? Is it right here?
Another can be bred.
No. Hang on, let me find it. Almost there, I think. Maybe. That's when he's fighting the Curl. That looks, look at all these spell effects. Good lord. But we know that there's an ability to use the icons. Here we go. The icons against normal enemies, because this is the normal UI, right? So we got Phoenix, Garuda. Phoenix, Garuda, and Ramu, and Shiva's on the screen using Diamond Dust, presumably against this Liquid Flame enemy. Yeah, definitely. Phoenix also only has one bar here of whatever that bar is. I don't know. I feel like we're really close, but we just have just a small enough amount of information to not know. Summer 2023, though. Looking forward to that. We also got a nice little shot of Clive here. Come on.
Awaken, child of fate. Awaken, Ifrit.
Creeper. Cool. Summer 2023 means June 22nd through September 22nd. June, July, August, September. Yeah. October, November. Yeah. So somewhere between June to September of next year, which is an interesting window. There's normally not that many big games that get dropped around the summertime. So, well, that means we have a year still to go. At least we got Forspoken coming up. Forspoken comes out in October, and I'm looking forward to that game. So we'll have Forspoken in October, and then we'll have Final Fantasy Crisis Core Reunion around early 2023, Final Fantasy 16 in, the early second half of 2023, and then early 2024 will be Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, and then we don't know after that. So we're getting fed real well. We're getting fed every 4 to 6 months-ish. I'll take it. Oh, man, what a journey. So what are your thoughts on Final Fantasy 16? I know there's been a lot of people that have been very critical of this game, mostly because the game doesn't... How would I say this? The game looks great, but one of the things that Final Fantasy games have done for a long time is they've pushed the boundary of visual fidelity. Final Fantasy 7, even Final Fantasy 6 was such an incredible game for its time in terms of what it looked like. Same with 7. 8 and 9 kind of were like riding on 7's coattails. 10 was one of the most beautiful games on PlayStation 2. 12 looked great. 13 still looks incredible today, despite coming out in 2009 on the PlayStation 3. It still is an incredible looking game. Final Fantasy 15 is a beautiful game that makes the PlayStation 4 fucking cry. Final Fantasy 7 Remake makes the PlayStation 4 cry and also looks really good. This is a PlayStation 5 exclusive, and it doesn't necessarily look like it is pushing itself to a higher tier. And just especially if we look at like the character models, right? The character models, they look. That's a pre-rendered cutscene. Where'd our character models go? I know we saw plenty of them in here. Where's the creeper dude? Yeah, so this is an in-game model. Definitely doesn't look bad. Looks pretty good. But it doesn't even look like a significant step up from Final Fantasy 15 or Final Fantasy 7 Remake. And of course, we are starting to hit a plateau of what can be achieved within a graphical space. But then we can look at other major titles, like especially like The Last of Us. Goddamn, that game looks insanely good. And those are now kind of becoming the pillars of graphical fidelity, and Final Fantasy isn't keeping up anymore. I personally don't care. I still think it looks good, but I do know there's a lot of people that are complaining, especially about Final Fantasy 16, that it definitely looks like it's borrowing a lot from Final Fantasy 14, which makes sense given that it's Creative Business Unit 3, which is the team behind Final Fantasy 14, and just kind of using that to push itself forward. I don't know how I feel about it. Genuinely, I think the reason that I don't know how I feel about it is because I don't think I care. If the game is fun, cool. We have to delay our game to ensure the best experience. Yeah, because this was supposed to come out this year. So we'll see what ends up happening. But I am still very interested. I'm still going to buy it. I'm still going to play it. I am very confident that I'll enjoy it. I am very curious. More details on the combat, though. So what are your thoughts? Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Otherwise, if you want to keep the conversation elsewhere, two great places to do so are Discord and Twitter. Speaking of Discord, we actually have a channel dedicated to these reactions where you can place links of your own that we can watch together live on stream, because we do stream 4 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, and I would love to see you there. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you want to catch future videos, please subscribe to the channel. If you want to catch the other videos that we've done, or if I see you in the live stream, thank you and enjoy. All right, it's time to sit down. My body. I like that I paused that on The Empire Will Live On. Okay, so that's all of those. Good Lord, my me. That took a hot minute. Whew. Hey, camera, let's get into frame, shall we? Oh. Oh, good Lord. On Tuesday, we will only do one reaction. Clicks refresh on Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Special Edition pre-order. I actually need to get that too. What does the Special Edition have? We can just go back to this screen. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Special Edition. What's in the Special Edition that makes it special? A book? Like, I do need to pick this up. Art book, probably limited OST. Okay. I do not care about that, so I will just order a regular version of the game. But I do need to order a regular version of the game. From fucking somewhere. It's able to be pre-ordered on like Best Buy and shit, right? Xenoblade Chronicles 3, cool. I also need to track down a physical copy of the Golden Torah at some point. Or whatever it's called. I think that was probably Xenoblade 1. Xenoblade 1's right here. Xenoblade 3 was the second one. Torna. That's what it's called, not Torah. The Golden Country. Yeah, I need to find a physical copy of this that's not $120. Wait, really? Like a is this a physical copy? Hold on. If that's a physical copy of Torna the Golden Country, I will straight up order that shit right now. It's the EU version? Because, like, here's the one that I've seen, which is $90. But what's this one? It doesn't say it doesn't say that it's a It doesn't say that it's a digital version. Yeah, I see the Peggy 12 too, but what does that matter? Because, like, we don't do... I haven't heard of region locking on a game any time recently. I'm not even sure the last game that had region locking on it. Well, I'm just gonna get it right now. Tarkov is Damn, Eve. Fuck. I can't even argue with you. You're right. You are absolutely right. It sure fucking is. Oh, shut that argument down real fucking fast, didn't you? That was amazing. Thank you for that, Fred. Yeah, Nintendo Switch is a platform that I really, really want physical copies of the games on if they're available. Like, really, genuinely bad is that what I want. And I didn't buy Xenoblade Chronicles 2 because I hadn't played Xenoblade Chronicles. And then when they brought out Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, I was like, oh, cool, I'll get that. And I played it, and, like, it had some problems, but I did enjoy it. And I was like, all right, I should probably pick up the second one. The second one, let's see what it's priced at right now. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Oh my, it has went down. You can get it for MSRP now. Of course, here's the Peggy version again. This was like $100 when for like a solid year after Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition came out, because they're like, oh man, the first one came out and everyone bought it. And then everyone did what I did of like, I should pick up the second one. And then guess what? The second one was expensive because they didn't make very many of them because no one fucking bought it. And the exact same thing happened to me. I had been wanting to buy Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition for a long time. And I didn't realize at the time that just Nintendo Switch games were just never going to get cheaper. Ever. They never went on sale, and I was like, man, I'd like to get Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, but I don't want to pay $50 for it because it's a fucking Wii U game. I'll wait till it's like $30. It's never went down to $30, by the way, ever. Literally ever. But I was like, I want to play it. And then they announced Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, the sequel, and this game's physical version shot up to like $120. And I was like, yeah, this game came out and made the other one. Oh, this is only $45 right now. Although the Nintendo Switch can't play it. I mean, it can. It just plays it poorly. For handheld, I want physical myself. Yeah, we own a shitload of physical Nintendo Switch games. But with something like the Nintendo Switch, and we have 3 Nintendo Switches, because I have one, Athena has one, and the kid has one. Physical copies are important so that you can actually share the games. Because even we have a Nintendo Online Family plan. And even with that, you're not able to share purchases across Switches. So, like, I bought Mario Maker 2 digitally. I don't remember why. But I bought Mario Maker 2 digitally. And the family can only play that on my Nintendo Switch. Even though it was purchased on the Nintendo Online Family Plan, you have to play it on my Switch, which is garbage poo-poo. I bought Xenoblade Chronicles for Wii when it was reprinted, used for $50 from GameStop. Wow, that's gross. Nintendo's games prices are one of the reasons why I also never picked up the game. Oh, picked up the console. Yeah, they just stay pricey. Then Xenoblade Chronicles 2 came out, which I got. And then they announced 3DS Xenoblade Chronicles 1, which I'm like, skip. Then they announced Xenoblade Chronicles 1, so I was like, okay, fine, I'll do the special edition. Because I already got the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 special edition. Keep it going, right? I normally buy special editions of Final Fantasy games, so I don't blame you. I got the freaking Cloud Strife on the Fenrir motorbike statue sitting in the other room, so. I don't hold anything against you at all for any of that. I completely get it. I also bought the collector's edition of AI the Somnium Files Nirvana Initiative, which should be getting here soon? I need to check my email. I like to stretch myself to PlayStation games. With the new PlayStation Plus model, I'm getting a ton more games for very little more money. Yeah, I don't think I'll be embracing the PlayStation Plus model just because a lot of the games that I would want to have been on there aren't on there. And I don't play my PlayStation enough at all. I know that they have to have things that they can like keep updating here and there to like push the service to keep people's attention and money, but man, I was not very impressed with the initial showcase. I rarely buy games enough to warrant getting deluxe on every game in a series. I'm just a tool, that's all. 50 gold, 25 gold, and 1 berserker, any which can be yours for 420 channel points. Most kills a tie between Scott Scabbers and the name in kanji. Most assists go into Scott Scabbers, followed by the name in kanji. I had 2 copies of Xenoblade Chronicles for Switch because I forgot to return the regular edition after seeing the special edition pop back online. I was actually... I talked about this recently on Twitter that I think over my lifetime I have spent... I have bought the original Final Fantasy VII 7 or 8 times. I have bought that game 7 or 8 times. I'm not sure which one. Going random on the rest. El Canadian on the Berserkers. AP10 with the gold. Back to the map. That's where we'll start on Tuesday. Let me see who's streaming right now. Zamudi is still recording the cold read. Natafan's playing some team fight tactics. You know, let's go raid Natafan. I'm really happy to see that Natafan is back in general. He was very, very active and was a full-time content creator during the Twitch stream days. And due to some different things, he ended up having to quit even before Twitch Sings died. He did return for the end of Twitch Sings and stuff. So... that said, these are my socials. Please follow me on Twitter. Come join the Discord if the command works. There we go. I will be back live again on Tuesday. We'll only have one react on Tuesday. It's going to be a longer one because we're going to be checking out a bunch of the stuff surrounding Sonic Frontiers because I've not seen any of that. What did my phone just do? Okay. So just as a heads up on that. This is the raid message, and thankfully it looks like Nightbot has still evaded getting a gifted sub, so that's what the raid emote and raid command looks like. If you do not have that raid emote, you can unlock it for 100 channel points to use for the next 24 hours, which I do believe you are able to use in a raid, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe someone tried it before and it worked just fine. So, that said... Thank you so much for everyone for hanging out, checking out all of the Final Fantasy stuff with me. That was a lot of fun. I ended up talking about as much as I expected to in all reality because I'm a talky boy, especially when it comes to Final Fantasy VII. It's usable in raids after redemption. I was pretty sure it was. My credits are still broken, so just as just a awareness of that, I need to set up a new way to do the credits because I don't want to reset up StreamerBot because StreamerBot was a pain in the ass to set up, so I'm probably going to check it out, Mix It Up Bot. With that said, I will read a couple of things. Thank you to Lilo and Switch. I am Dadman for your follows and Eve for the resub. Let's go raid Natafan. And at the end, we can go take a journey on his yellow submarine. And that's a Natafan, like, reference. He sings We All Live in a Yellow Submarine at the end of his streams. Or at least he used to. I don't know if he still does. But regardless, everybody, thank you so much. And I will see you on Tuesday. I also will be putting out an announcement for the Steam Key giveaway stream probably tomorrow. And it'll probably be taking place on July 4th, Independence Day. It's just an early heads up on that. All right. Bye-bye.